everybody. Welcome to another episode of the RAD Cast. I am Andrew Dimalanta. My friends call me a rogue leader.
And I'm Nicki Dimalanta, and everybody calls me Dimmy. Everybody. So, crazy week of work. I got a lot more on my plate this past week than I had in a while. And I didn't finish it all. I feel like this week went by so slow, but also so fast.
Yeah.
So I don't know what time is anymore. What is time?
What is time?
I don't know.
Yeah, but how's work for you though?
Same shit.
You're adjusting to, because we have jobs that we can do through digital and remotely because of work.
No, I'm super lucky. My position is not meant to telework.
You guys found a way.
But we found a way.
Yeah.
And it's kind of nice because I think had this never happened, they'd be like, no, this position is not suitable to work from home. And now that we've made it work for over a year, it's like, well, can't say that anymore. So
yeah, well, I think that's with every not just like certain jobs. Like they found virtual,
shit, it does work. And morale's up. Wow. People aren't abusing their time off. Wow. Weird. Funny.
Yeah. Everybody said that. I've said this on multiple shows and things that like when COVID happened, 80% of my shit just disappeared. I was like, oh fuck, weddings are gone, and weddings aren't a thing anymore. So I was like, fuck, what do I do?
I gotta be honest, I'm okay with that. Not with the weddings not being a thing anymore. But you shooting weddings has never been my favorite.
Yeah, no, so. I think especially after the last 13 months, I found that weddings just aren't my gig anymore. It's just because not doing them for a year actually did help me think I'm good with not having those anymore.
Yeah.
It's just a lot of stress for one project. And
they're always, I don't know what it is, but they're always an hour away for some reason. And on top of that, I don't know, they've always got some if anybody's listening out there, I'm gonna apologize in advance if this resonates with
clients
you.
Or people that are actually planning their weddings right now.
Resonates with you. I won't say it quite as harshly as I want to, but so many people want to do their fucking exits. I gotta do a sparkler exit. I gotta do a bubble exit. I gotta throw fucking birdseed.
And
it's like, oh my god, that means that you gotta stay until the last minute of the night, and then you gotta drive home a fucking hour.
Yeah, and pro tip. If you want to do one of those exits, this is
a pro tip.
Do it in the middle of the reception.
Yeah, that way, because by the end of the night,
you have 5 people.
Half the people are going to be gone.
Yeah, and
the half that are left are going to be sweaty, tired, possibly drunk.
That's why I say
makeup worn off.
Do in the middle of make it a stage thing. People will what you're staging your ads. Yeah, you dumb bitch, because it's easier. It makes for great pictures. You're not sweaty and tired looking. You don't have to put a fake face on.
Your hair's not falling out.
Exactly. You're much more well kept, and people are much more sane mind, because I can't tell you how unbelievably frustrating it is to get at least 50 drunk people in a line. It's geez, and then they never hold the sparklers up high enough.
Yeah.
Or some drunk uncle gets in the middle of your shot. It's
some kid is tired.
Yeah, it's we got to do it again. Sorry, we have to do it again because Uncle Rick decided to jump in the middle of and run down the sparklers and get in all of our shots.
Fun fact, I used to do shoots with Andrew at weddings, and I used to be the second camera for B-roll footage, and I only did a handful of weddings.
You did 2 to 3 weddings with me.
I feel like it was more, but okay. Yeah. But there was one wedding I remember, probably the last one, I don't know, but there was one wedding, I won't say their names because I don't fucking remember, but I just remember that they were doing some big exit, and so you were outside corralling all the people,
oh yeah, I know exactly.
All the drunk ass people outside. Yeah. You were trying to corral them and get them set up and blah blah blah, holding their sparklers up or whatever the hell they were holding up. And so that left me inside because you wanted to get the angle of them coming out and seeing them come out. Yeah. I was getting the reverse angle from them from behind. And so that left me alone inside with the bride and the groom. And I don't know if it was just the end of the night, we're tired, we're bitchy, I don't know. But I just remember was it the bride or the groom?
It was
both.
I think
it was a little of both.
Yeah.
They were oh my God, let's just fucking get this over with. I'm you were the one that wanted to do this.
Well, I remember that couple. The groom was just over everything.
It seemed
and the bride had no coordinator. She was doing everything herself.
Yeah,
And I was
Lord.
like, one, that's huge. I would
mistake.
always, another pro tip, get a wedding coordinator. If you're planning your wedding, get a wedding coordinator. Not just to like, you know what I mean? Just make sure you're on schedule for everything. So they can just be a day of thing.
And if you don't have a wedding coordinator, maybe you just have a very low key wedding. But if you're planning to do like stuff, you might want somebody there because you're not going to want to do it.
Yeah, and it doesn't necessarily have to be somebody professional. Just get somebody to make sure you're on schedule. It's like, hey, we need to wrap it out here because we have a cocktail hour in 20 minutes.
Oh my God, they were both so over. They're like,
Yeah.
oh my God, can we fucking, I'm just so fucking over this. And I'm like, wow, you guys, it's supposed to be your day. It's so awkward.
Yeah. But I do want to shout out to Deacons for having my last official wedding was from Schmodown community. It was the Deacons. And
Yeah, unless
an amazing experience.
Unless some other friend, unless some other like good friend is like,
asked
hey
me to do
Andrew.
it. And then that'll be my last one. My last official wedding that I put on the books was the Deacons, and it wasn't fitting because it was a Star Wars themed wedding. So
Yeah,
I love doing that.
it
one.
worked.
That
I
was
wish I could have been there. I'm not jealous.
It was a good time, even though I was working the entire day.
Yeah,
But
would've been fun.
like just thinking about like today, like this little conversation that we're having, and this past week of all the stuff that we're doing with work, like maybe think about the past jobs that we've had, because I had a few.
Probably had more than me.
And I mean, what was it like? Just looking back at your resume. Show me your resume.
Oh God, I'm so embarrassed.
Yeah.
So nervous.
Because we've worked for the same company for like a 4-year length. We'll get into that. But
We did.
Yeah.
So I'm one of those lame asses where my first job,
Mm-hmm.
my first job was for a family company.
I worked for family like pretty much my entire
That's
thing.
true. Yeah, it's you're right. Actually, you're right. Yeah, no, my first job, I almost have a hard time thinking of it as a job. But like my family, my grandfather owned a small business. Not to get too far into details or anything, he owned a business. It was a very small, unassuming business, But we did what we did,
Yeah.
And so I would work there on summers, summer vacation, and I would answer phones and help with a lot of clerical type crap.
Yeah.
And I gotta be honest,
The grunt
it
work,
was-
basically.
Yeah, which I have no problem with.
Yeah, somebody has to do it.
Someone's got to do it, and I don't really mind repetitive stuff. It depends, but I don't. Oh boy!
Hello.
Could you hear that? That's
Yeah.
my text tone. How embarrassing! I'm so popular. But yeah, no, those were some fond memories. Like being able to. I know we like have talked about things we could talk about on this podcast. We're thinking about like fond memories from childhood, but like working at that company, it does hold some fond memories for me, like warm fuzzies. I mean, how great is that I got to spend time. Well, first of all, I got a paycheck, which is pretty sick when you're in your teens.
Yeah.
No matter what the amount is. And I got to spend that time. I worked like feet away from my mom's desk, which was great. And there were a couple of her coworkers that have known me since I was a little girl, and at the time, everything was really cool. It was so much fun. They were so cool. So yeah, it was a lot of fond, fuzzy memories. I could go on, but yeah, that was probably my first
Real job.
Yeah.
I have a similar experience because, like, my family owns a franchise for certain properties. Can I call them properties? Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
And I worked for them for a while. I worked an office job. I remember at one point I had 4 different things I was doing.
Yeah, you were a busy bee.
I worked in the office. I worked at one of the restaurants. I taught Taekwondo classes at my school, and then I was the videographer, their in-house videographer, before I even started my small company. So yeah, I was busy, and there's so many like memories that I have from my time as a shift lead at one of the restaurants, and like
food service industry, by the way.
Yeah, food service industry. I'm not gonna get into which one we own because
Yeah.
but
Me too.
I remember I remember hanging up on people, just being like, "Hey, yeah," because like usually when somebody swears at you, that's your trigger, not your trigger, but your immediate permission to like, all right, hang up on you.
Yeah, if you can't treat me with respect, then I'm gonna need to turn.
And I would tell all our employees like that. It's like once they swear at you, it's like we don't want their business. Go ahead, we reserve the right to refuse business, so you go ahead and hang up on them, and I'll back you up on that. And if they call back asking for a manager, I will back you up on that. So I have no
freedom
problem.
of working at a private company.
Yeah. But yeah, I remember just assholes just being assholes and like
Yeah, man,
expecting
people suck.
free products. It's like, sir, I can't.
Because
I'm sorry.
it was a food It was a food service industry that
Food service
Andrew
industry.
worked at, and his family owned / still
Still owns. Yeah,
owns.
we still have several stores.
And it's the best when people like I haven't worked I had a very small stint in the food service industry. I cannot even say I can't even say that I've been a waitress because I haven't. But like when people order food from you and then they call you back after the fact and they're like, this fucking sucked, and it's like they bring it in or whatever and it's like 95% of it's gone. It's like, bitch, you ate it.
I have a story about that. Like somebody ordered and then like they came back, they physically came back and they're like, we didn't like it. This is not, or it was some of the fact like we didn't like it or it's not what we ordered. It's like, I'll be happy to exchange it for you, sir.
Why'd
Like,
you eat it, dummy?
and we look at the product and it's like maybe 5% of it is left. I'm like, sir, I can't. I'm sorry. You clearly enjoyed it because look how much is left. It's like, no, I want another. I want a free product. Like, I'm sorry, sir. I can't do that for you.
I'm sorry, but the customer is not always right.
Yeah, and whoever coined that phrase
is an
was
idiot.
A fucking moron.
Yes,
it should be the customer should. You should strive to make the customer happy, always
exactly.
happy. That customer should always be happy.
They're not always right.
They're
Hell
not
no.
always right because the customer. Spoiler alert: customers 95% of the time completely wrong.
Yeah,
They're like almost 100% completely wrong on anything any complaint that they have, unless like it is like an employee of yours that just straight up like doesn't want to be there or just not a great employee. If you do your job right as a lead, as you know, an employee, you're doing your job right, the customer is always wrong.
Yeah,
and it sucks to say that, and that's something that I think that bonds like us as a community is shit jobs. If you haven't had like a shit job like that, like serving, like I think if you've had a job in like the food industry or restaurant industry or some kind of capacity,
it's like a badge of honor.
Yeah, it's like a badge of honor, like customer service, I should say.
Yeah,
trying to please the customer. That's something that I think
I kind of qualify for that because the job that we both own, and we're not necessarily going like chronologically here.
Yeah.
We're not gonna say like every single thing we've done.
We'll bump around.
But like my one run in the food service industry, which I think qualifies, was that Andrew and I both worked at I'm not gonna say the word restaurant because that doesn't.
No, it was like a
that.
tea place.
It was a food and drink.
It was a food court type of
food
place.
court type of thing.
Which still is technically in the food industry.
Yeah, we worked on campus when we were both going to college. It was a place in a food court, basically.
It was in the.
Nope, you don't need to go into specifics. But it was a place in the food court on campus when we both went to college.
Yeah,
and yeah, there was people that they try to do dumb stuff.
They just try to get free stuff. I remember this one dude came in and he's just, for some reason he was pals with the owner of the restaurant and he's like, dude, I get the 50% discount. It's like, dude, I work here.
Yeah, okay. I don't even get that.
I don't even get that. I get 15% discount.
I mean, I definitely take stuff.
Oh yeah,
but when I try to buy it, I don't even get that kind of discount.
It's like, bro, I don't even get that discount. Don't try to pull that shit on me. But like, yeah, that place wrecked my stomach because they put MSG in all their food.
Oh my god!
Now that I think about it, they 100% put MSG in their food.
Well, you, me, and then another one of our really close friends worked there all at the same time, which was back in the day so much fun.
Oh yeah!
Oh my god! And every blue moon, all three of us would work the same shift. Oh my god, it was so much fun.
Yeah, that was for like big events that were happening on campus.
Big events on campus that we would both be working, where we'd all three be working like this big shift.
Staff, yeah.
And each one of us, all three of us, probably gained at least 10 to 15 pounds working there.
Terrible,
because like it would be in the middle of a night shift, and the guys in the back were cool.
Oh, they were so much
fun. The cooks in the back were real cool, and they'd be like, "Here, I'm gonna hook you up," and they would make us something really good. But it was like
it wasn't even on the menu. It was like,
so
bad.
Bad.
It's so good, but it's like, yeah, that's
so bad for
wrecked
us.
My stomach
because there was like a specialty type menu item that we would sell, and part of selling that type of a specialty item was that we had to like taste it every morning.
Oh yeah.
To make sure that the quality was okay.
Take a little bit of extra.
And I'm like, oh hell yeah. So I would make myself a little mini drink of like every flavor every morning.
And they had we're still trying to find this one drink that they served, and we'd either try to find a recipe to replicate it. We have yet to find that one thing.
So good.
It was, oh my god, it was amazing.
So good. Yeah, no, that was a fun gig.
But then we all quit on the
we all
guy
quit the
the
same
same night.
Well,
He wasn't the best
not
boss.
the best boss, and he was really offensive to me one time, you know, in a sexist way.
Yeah.
And so I think I don't know if it was that same night, but you, me, and our friend were all like, deuces.
Yeah,
we all
we're
quit.
done. We're done. Yeah.
But it was a fun time while it lasted.
Yeah, I don't think he lasted much longer in that space either, because
I don't think
it
so.
was a very specialized
Yeah.
type of like food and drinks. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was that night that he like said something really like kind of over the line to all of us.
yeah.
And I spoke up a little bit, and I just distinctly remember him asking me if I was on my period. And I'm like, okay, we're fucking done.
We're done here.
We're done here. I think we're done for ever.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, that was the end of that. But it was fun while it lasted.
It was fun while it
Wonder
lasted.
where that guy is now. I don't know.
But yeah, I think the one that we both have so many like stories about, and so much time was spent on this one
I
company.
can't believe that we both worked for the same company twice.
Yeah, but no, this one
Together.
we've both worked for this specific company for 4 years. I can't believe we worked there for 4 years.
It was a long time.
But it was a good gig to have while you were in college, though.
Did you start working there first and I came in later, or
No, we came in the same time.
Okay, no, I'm thinking of when you taught at that one school. So Andrew's talking about a job where we worked in childcare, and our friend, our
Very
friend,
close friend, yeah.
I mean, my best friend, she was the one that got us into that gig. I'm thinking of when she got you into that martial arts gig.
Oh, yeah, that was
different.
such a sweet gig. You worked 2 days a week. I worked a lot, like about 25% of my paycheck was on commission. And oh my God, this was such a sweet gig.
I know you enjoyed that a lot.
I enjoyed it a lot because, like, I love teaching. It's part of a martial artist to pass on what you learn, whatever. God, it was just
You're like a Jedi.
Yeah, I felt like a Jedi. 2 days a week. Got a lot of commission for upselling people on stuff that they needed.
And you got to work with two friends. You got to work with her and one of our other friends.
Yeah. So that was oh my God, that was such a sweet gig.
Yeah.
And I got paid for our college kid that,
Not too shabby,
man. I got paid a lot.
But then was it after that?
It was after that.
That we both, through the same
friend.
my same girlfriend, got us a job because she was manager.
Yeah, she was
of sorts.
Yeah, she was a supervisor position for a certain site.
And she got us an in with this like
Yeah, we both got
it's a
positions.
glorified daycare.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like a before and after school,
Like on school premises,
extended daycare, learning, whatever you want to call it.
That company would try everything it could be to be what it wasn't.
Whoa, are you okay?
Wow. No, but
Did you
they
just
try
have a
to
stroke or
try to
something?
be like extended learning.
Yeah.
But 99% of the time,
was a daycare.
parents couldn't pick their kids up at the time they needed to.
They
so
would do
they turned to them.
everything possible to not use the word daycare, but that's what
That's what they were.
It was a glorified, expensive ass daycare.
Yeah, and I remember talking to like one of the higher ups, or we'd have these meetings, and like they were like, "Oh yeah, we have a certain amount of budget," and like a huge chunk of their budget went to supplies when they didn't need it.
Yeah.
And it's like, how about you run that into training and your employees?
They tried to have like a curriculum. It's like,
Bro, do you realize
just be self-aware.
the two top things when I talk to parents would be like, or what do you want out of this program? What are you expecting to get? It's like, all right,
Let me go ahead and guess. I want my kid to have their homework done before they come home.
yes, that's one.
And I want them to be safe until I get there.
Exactly. Those
There
are
you
two
go.
top
Wow,
criteria.
how did
I
I
talk
guess
to
that?
every single parent. It's like, all right, what do you expect to get out of this? My kid needs to be safe, and they need to do at least 90% of their homework done. That's it. Yeah. It's like, and the company didn't recognize that.
No.
And oh my God. And I remember one year when our district was having trouble.
Yeah.
And they brought people in from the other district to help us out.
Yes,
And
I remember that.
they're spouting all this bullshit
They
off.
had a training at a hotel that we all had to go
Exactly.
to. Oh my God.
And then we come to learn that their program was half the size of ours. We were in one of the
my
districts
God.
where we had like 100 kids, and their district had like at tops, their top program was 50 kids. I'm like, you kidding me?
I just remember. Oh my God, you just unlocked a memory.
Yeah.
I just remember we were at that training. It was at a I was at a hotel somewhere, and they brought these people in like, oh,
No,
wow,
Miss Popular
so
over here.
popular,
Popping off over here.
Even
Hello.
though it's a group chat that you're in too.
Yeah, I have my phone on silent like a professional.
Like a respectable adult. Yeah, no, they had a training. I just remember 2 things specifically. Remember the first thing they did was they did like a role play thing.
Oh, I remember this.
Where they were like, okay, so we're going to be in this one interest area. Like they had these different interest areas where one was like, oh, you know, it was arts and crafts. And one was like food centered. One was like
science
physical,
activities,
you know, activities. One was science. Yeah. And so there was
reading area.
Yeah. There was one where they were like reading books, whatever. And so they wanted us to like role play. And so they asked one of us to pretend to read a book, and some poor sap pretended to read a book. And the instructor sat down in front of them. They proceeded to act like a child, like a kindergartner. And while the girl was reading a book, she was like, I don't want to read this book. And so she was just putting the girl reading the book on the spot. Like, well, how are you going to deal with me? I'm a petulant 5-year-old.
Yeah.
Deal with me.
Yeah.
And the girl was like, hey, we're reading this fucking book. Shut up.
Yeah.
And she was like, no. You have to respect this child's freedom of choice. And if they don't want to read a book right now, then they don't have to read a book right
So
now.
like, let's see what you want to do.
What do you want to do? And so they asked them, okay, what do you want to do? I want to play with Legos. She went, well, we're reading books right now. Well, nope, that's where you're wrong. If they want to play with Legos, you have to respect that choice and their autonomy. You have to let them go play with Legos. If they can quietly distract or not quietly remove themselves from the group and go play with Legos, you have to respect that.
It's a huge fucking if.
I went, you're telling me that you think that this one kid is going to quietly remove themselves from the group and go play with Legos, and the rest of those kids are going to be like, fuck this book.
Yeah, I want to go play Legos.
I want to go play Legos too.
And like, that's what pretty much all the kids wanted to do all day long was play with Legos. That's all they wanted to do.
And the other thing that just blew my mind was when they told us that you cannot use the word timeout anymore.
Oh my God.
You have to tell them that they are going to take a break. I went, oh my God. What? No timeout. You got to tell them to take a break and invite them to take a break.
Yeah.
I may be a millennial, but I'm not that much of a millennial.
No, man. There was just so many rules. Like, I will never work in childcare in that capacity ever again. The only time I'll ever work with children is in a martial arts setting.
Okay.
Where there's there's clear, like, structure and clear, like, discipline lines so that they can't be crossed.
Right.
But with, like, other, like, working in that capacity, there's so, because both of us sort of, like, we were there for 4 years.
Oh my
so
God.
we both eventually became supervisors of certain sites.
Screw that.
And I don't know how your experience was, but like there are certain things like certain cleaners can't be used on tables. We had snack time. You had to hand the kids the snacks a certain way, otherwise it was a violation of this code in this section of whatever. I'm like, are you kidding me?
Think about how long ago that was, and think about what it's like now. It might be even worse.
Oh my God, I could not imagine being,
especially with COVID.
Yeah, that's what I was getting at. Like I could not imagine being in that position and working in that line.
Nah.
And had COVID hit, because I remember we had lice breakouts.
Oh yeah,
and that was rough because we'd had to isolate kids. We had to like tell parents like, hey, we had a case of lice. Make sure you wipe down their book bags and whatever and all that nonsense.
I remember having a kid.
Oh my God.
Her name was Jackie. Don't remember her last name anymore. Even if I remembered it, I still wouldn't say it. But I'm actually kind of disappointed in myself that I don't remember it. But her name was Jackie, and I remember that she was in, our care. And she was itching a lot. I'm like, Jackie, what the fuck's going on, baby girl? And then the next thing I know, I get notified that she went to the school nurse that day who used the term infested with lice.
Kids are disgusting, man.
Oh my God. I just remember for the next week, I came into work every day with my hair very tightly French braided. And I think I used an entire bottle of hair gel to make my hair like a helmet.
That's because your coworker told you about that.
Somebody. Oh, maybe it was Lucy.
Yeah.
She told me like, oh yeah, just Yeah, because I think it was her. She was like, "Oh yeah, no, use hair
them.
gel, and it suffocates them. If they're in there, it'll suffocate them, and if they're not in there, they won't be able to get in there if your head is a fucking helmet."
Yeah, it's like
So
it's like deflector shields.
So I braided my hair every single day, and then used hairspray on top of gel, on top of hairspray, on top of gel. I could have survived. You could have hit me over the head with a bat, and I could have been just fine.
Oh my god. Wow, there were some definitely good times because like it sounds
There were
like
some good times.
It sounds we're making it like this was a terrible company to work for. We had no fun.
No,
there
it
were
was a
some
good
times.
learning
I remember,
experience.
but before I became a supervisor for a site, I was we were overemployed at this one site that I was at, so I became a floater teacher. So like,
Yeah.
wherever I was needed, I need to go. That
remember
was the
that.
best time.
Yeah?
And the guy that I worked for,
James.
was
He was
such a
the best.
fucking baller. I
Love
love him. Fucking loved him. I loved work. That was, I think, out of my entire time at that company, that was the site that I was like the happiest at.
Yeah,
Because
that was a good site.
The supervisor was such a fucking baller.
And we did
he
summer
made
camp
working,
there.
yeah, and we had a summer camp there. He made
So
working
good.
there so easy.
Yeah, he was cool. I bet he still is. I don't mean to speak in past tense. He's always going to be cool.
Oh no, he was such a great guy. And his side gig was he was a rapper.
What a fucking baller.
fucking
What
awesome.
a baller. You work in childcare during the day and you rap at night. Okay.
you spit bars at night. You kidding me? That's awesome.
He was so cool.
But yeah, oh man, there were some awesome times working for this.
Going on field trips with him. Oh my God. it
I
was
never
so
went
much
on a
fun.
field trip. I never went on a
Oh,
field
that's
trip.
right. Because,
Yeah.
you never,
Certain people didn't like me.
That's true. Yeah, no, I remember going to the science center
Mm-hmm.
and then we went to like this weird,
Mhm.
like colonial reenactment type place.
Oh yeah.
That was a lot of fun. Yeah, no, I
Yeah.
forgot. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to hit on a rough,
Hey man,
sore spot
fuck
there.
them. I don't. No, I remember specifically quitting because like I wanted to get for the site that I was in charge of by the time I left there. I was trying to pump up a summer program.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh man, yeah, I really want to front head this
I
summer
think we
program.
got the numbers.
I think we got the numbers. We because if we don't have the summer program, I don't have a job this summer.
Right?
So and then we got it started, and then we had maybe like 15 kids, and then your site also had a summer, and then they snatched it away from me. It's like, well, we don't have the numbers, Andrew, so we're just gonna take it away from you. And it's like, no, you said if we had these numbers, at least 15 kids, we can do it. It's like, well, no, we decided not to. It's like, well, then fuck you, I'm quitting. So I just bailed on them, and luckily I got another
remember.
job with the family company. So yeah.
I don't remember how close we quit from each other.
I think it was pretty close.
That's just our trademark, I guess. We
Yeah.
just quit
Well,
together.
because I think that summer when I started work, I went back to work for a family company for another venue, another thing that they owned.
Well, then, and I went back to school.
Yeah, and that's when you got into the.
And that's when I got into where I'm in now.
Yeah,
So yeah, it was probably not too far apart from each other.
yeah. I think because I quit at the pretty much the beginning of summer. I think pretty shortly after that, you weren't even doing anything at that
I was
time.
like,
'cause
I'm
you
going
were-
back to school. F you guys.
Yeah, yeah.
And it worked out well because now I got a I got a very steady gig.
Very steady gig. Yeah.
But yeah, no, it was a good time. It was a learning experience.
Mm-hmm. The best form of birth control ever.
Lord help me. It's very different though.
It is different because kids act differently.
Well, they act differently when they're not around their parents.
Mm-hmm.
And also, I feel like being like, oh, wow, yeah, I'm never fucking having kids because I work in childcare. Oh, okay, you having 25 kids at once? No, you're going to have one kid.
Yeah.
Maybe you'll have more later.
And another fucking thing about this company, like we come to like because I remember having 35 kids under my care at one time. Learn to know that like the county that we're in, you're not allowed to have any more than like what 18 kids.
18 to 22 or something like that.
Yeah, something like between 22 to 18 kids under your care at once. I'm like, bitch, I had 35 kids underneath my watch.
Yeah, there
at
was a
one point.
ratio. I
Yeah.
just forget exactly what it was at the time.
Yeah.
But yeah, oh my God, I had so much anxiety working there
Mm-hmm.
because I'm watching people's kids
Mm-hmm.
and they wander and I got to take them outside. I got to take them to like excursions.
And also, we accepted, autistic children. People
Oh, yeah,
not on
we-
the spectrum.
I had a
when
couple special needs kids, yeah.
Technically, we're not really supposed to because
Oh, I
to
shouldn't.
be to care for a special needs child, you need to have special training.
Yeah.
And I remember in the entire 4 years working there, I had one person underneath my supervision that had absolutely was certified trained to handle autistic children.
Oh, well, that's lucky for you. I didn't.
Yeah. So we had. I was like, what? Sorry, what?
When I was a supervisor of my site, I had one child who was very much special needs, and his name was Andres. He was a sweetheart.
I remember watching him. He was a very sweet kid.
He was a sweetheart, but he definitely had different needs than the other kids. And I was like, what do I do? And most of the time it was me, like that was with him the whole time. But yeah, no, it was kind of crazy the ratios that we had,
things we were
that we
subjected
dealt
to.
with.
Yeah. Like, wow, it's crazy, man. Like how are they getting away with this? That was my biggest concern.
But it was definitely a learning experience. Like Andres was the sweetest kid. And then, just dealing with growing up, I feel like a lot of, I don't mean to generalize, but I feel like a lot of kids growing up maybe have opportunities to babysit. And I don't know that it's more girls than boys or whatever. I feel like if you have younger siblings, blah, blah, blah. I didn't have a younger sibling. I had an older brother, and that's it. And all of my cousins, 100% of the cousins that I have lived out of state.
Or out of the country.
Yeah. I've never lived in the same state as one of my cousins. So no, I never babysat, ever. So this job was the first exposure I ever had to kids. So it was a great learning experience. And it was great to see the good and bad. So manipulative. It was crazy. But it was a good gig. And then we left.
It was good. It was good for the time, the phase of our lives that we were, because we were in college.
It was a split shift job. It worked really well with our school.
Yeah, for our school schedule, yeah.
And then from that job, like I said, I went back to school. And that school led me to the job I'm in now, or at least the organization that I'm with now. Yeah. So that's pretty cool.
It worked out, yeah. And
I went
on to be self-employed.
Yeah, we can only all be so lucky.
Yeah. But before we get out of here, I do want to pose this one question, because it was one of those questions that you had on, like, on our ideas that were thrown around.
Yeah.
Dream jobs, and or if you weren't in the position that you are now.
I have an answer for both.
And you couldn't do your dream job, what would you be doing?
Like, okay, so absolute dream job.
Like, within reason, like, you know what I mean?
Well, I don't know how I can guarantee you that.
Yeah.
But like, dream job, and then if you could go back and start over again, what would you do?
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Yeah, kind of thing, yeah.
Okay. So if I could go back and start over again, like maybe go back to college. And I know everyone says it's never too late. Then you can still go back. Shut up.
Shut up. We're in our mid-30s. It's pretty much where we are.
You're right. You're right.
Yeah.
But whatever.
Yeah. I don't have the energy for it.
I heard that. So if I could go back and do it all over again and go into a different field, I think, because I'm a strong proponent, and I will tell this to our daughter one day. I think that it's a smart move to go into a profession that offers you skills and or knowledge that are also, not only is it good for you professionally, but it's also offers you some personal gain. So if I were to be able to go back, because the profession, whatever. Yeah. If I could go back, I feel like I would go into, I feel like I would want to become like either a dietitian, a nutritionist, or an esthetician. If I had to go back.
Words at me right now, baby girl.
So like a dietitian, nutritionist.
Well,
like,
that I know.
And then an esthetician is like a person who's like, they specialize in like skincare and that kind of thing. Like, I think that because not only are those lucrative careers, they also offer you personal benefits. Like, you can use your skills on yourself and your family. Like, if somebody was going into like being a mechanic, well, that's great. That's a very steady job. And also, you can use it in your personal life. Yeah. You can use those skills for yourself to save yourself money and to, help yourself out of a tough situation. So like, I feel like if I were to go back, I would be either, dietitian, nutritionist, or an esthetician, because those would, I always knew I wanted to do something medical related.
You just wanted to wear scrubs to work. That was
my initial, yeah. Yes, absolutely. And I did for some time. For about 6 years, I was clinical and wore scrubs to work. And then I got a new position, my current position where I'm administrative. So now I have to wear like actual clothes to work. But yeah, no, for about, I don't know, six or so years, I did work actual clinical scrubs every day. And it was great. Wearing scrubs was great.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that would be probably if I could go back. I don't think I'd be a nurse because I just
That's a rough gig.
demanding
That's the word. That's a demanding
demanding. You got to be able to be available around the clock, night shift, overtime.
God bless your heart for being a nurse, man. God, that's a profession I do not have the balls to go into.
Nurses are so underappreciated.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, and that's the exact reason that I don't think I would want to do it because I'd like to have me time. Yeah. You know. So
I don't know. Like for me, like if I could go back and tell Andrew to do something, I think like one thing I would tell. I want to put this on our tell our daughter this, and also something I would tell Andrew, like past Andrew, like minor in your passion, but major in your backup.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Because I really wish that I could be in like if I could go back and like find a profession that is always in demand. Accountants, just something like that. Like I think that would probably be the line. A lot
of medical professions.
Yeah,
that's why I went into medicine.
Something that's for like no matter what the economy is like, whatever, that position will always be there. Because like I always hate like something that like the position I'm in right now. It's like not a whole lot of demand for videography or video editing. A whole lot of stuff. You really have to find the partners that I have right now, there's a constant need for me right now, but not a whole lot. But like, so maybe like something like accounting. I don't know.
I always think medicine is a good field.
I don't think. I think I'm good with numbers, especially like money. Yeah. So I think economics is so like fluid. I wouldn't be able to keep up. So, but something like accounting.
The service industry always
something like that there. Like customer service, it will always be there for something like that.
See, now our generation and those of us part of our generation that are parents, we're able to look through things through the lens of a global pandemic. So now we can be like, hey, what was in demand during a pandemic? That kind of thing. Oh, I don't know, that might be a steady job. You know. So there, I mean, I'm all for following your passion and everything, but I'm also all for stability. I have always said I always like a sure thing. I like stability. I like a sure thing. I'm not a risk taker, so I would like the field of work that's going to always be in demand. You know. So I mean, it doesn't really matter if I say what clinical field I went into. I went into the dental field. Everybody's gonna have teeth.
And need to take care of that teeth.
And if you don't have teeth, spoiler alert, you're still gonna need a fucking dentist. You know,
dentures and implants. You're
gonna need your dentures. You're gonna need your implants. Unless you want to live life eating soup through a straw, my dude. You know, you're even when you don't have teeth, you still probably will need to see a dentist. So, and that's what I figured. Like, oh well, dental. They're not gonna need me at midnight for a. That'll be good.
That was a smart move.
Yeah, man. What are you gonna?
So before we get out here,
dream job. Okay, absolutely.
Within like oh, I want to be a fucking like actor or something like that's possible now. That we can like if you can just like snatch out of there right now. That's within like quote unquote reasons.
I mean, I don't know what your within reasons is, and I don't want to be caged by your boundaries.
Because that's where I'm my head's at right now.
Well, whatever. My dream job, if I could just like snap my finger and be like, wow, I would be so happy. Oh my God. It's going to sound silly, I think. But, you know, I bet there are a lot of people out there that be like, oh my God, I'd love to be a movie star. Oh my God, I'd love to be a famous singer. I'd love to be, you know, some kind of an entertainer, celebrity, blah, blah, blah. I don't want that. I don't want to be a celebrity. I don't want to be a famous anything. Because that's just a lot of pressure all the time. Yeah. People always want to follow you, paparazzi. No thanks. My dream job. Do you remember Singing in the Rain?
Yes.
Do you remember how that? I don't remember the characters' names. Do you remember how there was that one girl who was like the famous singer, but Debbie Reynolds' character was the backup singer.
Yeah, she was the voice behind the face.
She was the voice behind the face. Nobody really knew who she was. She just sang in the background. And the other person got the glory. my dream job would be something along those lines.
Like a backup singer?
Being a backup singer. Yes, please.
I think you would be great because I see this on TikTok all the time. Because like I follow the singer, do a like duet and like harmonize with them. I think you'd be fantastic. I think you could make your name for yourself on TikTok. Like
I would love if I could sing as my profession. Dream come true. But I don't want to be the main singer. I mean, like 5% of me would like to be the main singer. The rest of me is like, nah, I'd rather be in the background. I'd rather just provide the backup. I've always been more
I've
always liked supportive roles.
Yeah, make the main singer sound really nice with your support.
I don't want to be followed around by paparazzi.
Yeah.
You know? But I would love to be some kind of a supportive backup singer or like be like the voice in an animated movie or
That's
like
what
an
I said.
animated show. I'd love to be a voice actor.
We've talked about this several times. I think because you're really good at certain voices sometimes.
Mimicry.
I think if you would go back and tell past Nicki, become a voice actor.
I'd love to do that.
I think you would be fantastic.
A voice actor or like, hey, Disney, you need a voice actor, but like for a musical cartoon? Fuck yeah, pick me up.
I think had you gone back and become a voice actress, I think you would kill it.
I think, yeah, voice actor /
backup
vocalist.
Yeah.
Dream job for me. Absolutely.
So the reason I said within reason, because like, you know, obviously my dream is like filmmaker. I would love to make films for a living. I would love to be a director. I would love to, you know, at the very least be a film editor.
Yeah.
I think right now, I remember having this thought, like, if I can be like what Corridor Digital was like maybe 5 years ago, 2 to 3 years ago, of just making dumb videos like VFX driven stuff, or what Filmright was 3 years ago.
Yeah.
They'd make sketches and things like, if I can do that for a living for the rest of my life,
Oh yeah.
I would love to do that.
Oh,
That'd be
yeah.
so good. Not a lot of pressure from you don't have to worry about box office. You don't have to worry. Just have fun making videos with your buddies. I would love to do that for a living.
I wish.
It's like I could do it. It's just it's so much work now. Like performing at that level on YouTube and
especially
stuff, all that.
now, pandemic coming off of the heels of a big ass quarantine, everybody's
doing
streaming.
it. Yeah, and
it's so hard to break it. If you didn't already have a following, it's going to be real weird and hard.
Yeah,
to now garner a big following.
Because there was that like sweet spot where Corridor, Film Riot, Rocket Jump were in this like sweet spot of like every week you'd see a new video. Not a whole lot of production, but like for their level of production was some great shit they were doing.
Yeah.
And they were just doing like, God, if I can just do that, I'd be set for life, man.
So
I
much
would
fun.
love to do that. Because we used to do smaller videos all the time.
Those were a lot
for
of fun.
Film Riot Monday challenges, and we got recognized for a lot of that work.
I genuinely enjoyed
That was a lot of fun doing
Yeah.
that, but like having a kid and all that, no time to do it. And
Yeah.
right now, but that was some fun shit that we did.
That was a lot of fun.
A lot of fun.
That was. I miss that. Maybe one day we'll do stuff like that again.
Maybe, because I'm starting to get into like with TikTok, with like the TikTok videos and
And
stuff
as
like that.
as the kid gets older, we can be like, hey, do this.
Do that. Yeah, I'm just saying, like that'd be great to get her in on that stuff too. But like, yeah, never say never. Like I've started to get back into it. I love creating stuff and all that. But if I could just do that, it's like small little 5-minute videos.
Yeah, we
a small
complement
little
each other.
story.
You're more the right brainer. I'm more the left brainer.
Yeah,
But yeah, that was a lot of fun.
that was a lot of fun. I want to get back into it someday. We'll get there eventually. Anyways, I think we're all in here, and a little bit of extra time for you guys because we forgot to do it.
Oh, how embarrassing!
How embarrassing. We'll try to get back onto the schedule.
Very embarrassed.
Like we said, it's a bi-weekly show, so we forget to do it sometimes.
Yeah. What day is it?
Oh man, this will probably go up on a Saturday, not a Friday. But oh boy, my bad.
I'm really embarrassed.
Sorry, but yeah, I think we'll end it here. Great place to end. Fun conversation. So we're going to talk about aliens and ghosts again. But
Maybe next time.
Maybe next time.
Because they're real. Let's just use that as a segue for next time. They're real.
They're real, both of them. Both of them.
Yes.
So, Nicki Dimalanta, where can they find you online?
Oh, well, I have various social medias, but the only one I really do anything on is Twitter. So you can find me on Twitter at Dimmy. DIMMMYYY.
As for me, follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Drew Dimalanta, DIMALANTA, on TikTok at Drew_Dimalanta. If you listen to this on audio form, please follow the feed and rate us.
If you're watching/listening to us on YouTube, like, comment, subscribe, click the bell icon in the lower right-hand corner. See when we do things on YouTube.
Just bring on Spoot on every Monday. Don't miss an episode. We got a big match.
Got lots of crap to talk about.
Shit to cover.
Lots of shit.
Lots of shit. Thank you for joining us on this episode of the RADcast. I have no closer, so we'll see you next time. Thanks for joining us.
Next time, bye guys. I love you. Bye.